So today we're going to be talking with three people from across the country who have tried out some really innovative retention strategies in the last couple of years. We're going to start with Glenn Cora, who is from the Richmond City Health District in Virginia. We're then going to talk with Bhagia, who is from the East St. Louis in Illinois. And we will finish up talking with Francis from the Pennsylvania WIC program. We will take questions. We'll do it at the very end, and we will do it by chat. So everyone has a chat box option. Send those over, and we will make sure they get answered. We are recording the webinar, so that will be available to you. Starting, I believe, tomorrow, and we will share that with others who weren't able to join us today. And with that, we will go ahead and get started. So, Glenn Cora, I'm going to pass the baton over to you, and we will.
And I'm calling in from Richmond, Virginia, and I work as the Community Partnerships Coordinator in Richmond, Virginia at the Richmond City Health District. And I'm going to discuss one of the best ways we found in terms of leveraging our partners, our community partners, to increase retention past the first year. So just to give you some broader context of Richmond as a whole, Richmond, we have about a population of 215,000 individuals. Our WIC caseload hovers around 5,800. And in the city we get there's about 3,000 births a year. And by and large, our population is rather low income and was dropping off around the first year. We say, I think it's about 59% of eligible children were enrolled, so that means we're missing a big chunk, and 51% of also pregnant women. So we knew those were a tremendous loss. And when I came into the position, we identified one of the major sticking points that was happening between the WIC office and particularly the pediatric office, which is really poor and fractured communication. The pediatrics office was giving different information about it, actually giving in Richmond, it's called, Virginia, it's called the WIC 295, but I know every state has their own version. And we were delivering pretty poor client service at the time because the patient was being followed back and forth between the WIC office and the pediatric office. And really, at the time, there was no place to see structure for us to communicate with any of our pediatrics offices, OB offices, various nonprofits that work with pregnant and postpartum families. We're really and we did a survey with our clients, and we found a large majority of them really trusted their doctors and and referrals and followed through with them. And so what we decided to do is not only to improve client service, but also to improve retention regarding the clientele, was to set up a more structured outreach program in which we engage and leverage our community partners. In one instance, we even had a WIC office that was literally in the same building across the hall from one of our primary pediatric partners, and they just weren't communicating at all. And when we went out to some of the pediatrics, doctors, OBs, some of the quotes that I actually have here that we had that actually gave us is, I thought WIC only provided formula. Or another one is, I thought WIC was just a food package. I didn't know that there was an educational component too. We had one physician tell us, I couldn't tell you what types of food are in the WIC food package. And then other nutrition was, why do I need to know about what MSC nutrition? So there's really large knowledge gaps here. And what we wanted to do was just to kind of use our community partners to encourage our clients to refer to WIC. So our primary focus really was to break a lot of kind of the WIC myth. First and foremost, we found the biggest one was that this was a free formula program. They didn't know about all the tremendous WIC breastfeeding services that was provided. And then moreover, you just continue that conversation and I don't have the time always to sit down with a client and talk about feeding or increasing iron or strategies for how to breastfeed when you go back to work. Have them use us as a primary referral in kind of all situations, especially after that first year. We encourage them to write into a children's EMR, their electronic medical records, the family's medical records, whether or not that child is enrolled in WIC. So when they come back into the office, they can query, is your child still enrolled? Are you still enrolled? What sort of feedback are you getting about WIC? And have them share that with us. So what we did to kind of really continue is divide. So first and foremost, we had a training. We had a WIC 101, and really a lot of our community partners really did need a 101 because they were missing out on some of the basic components of WIC. And we would present kind of an overview of WIC, and I'm happy to share this presentation with anybody who would like it. We had 3 different versions, one that was aimed for kind of a general nonprofit audience, one that was aimed towards pediatricians that was a little more specific towards child health, and a third one that was kind of aimed towards OTs, which was really more focused on kind of pregnancy. We got a lot of feedback from our WIC director. We have local coalitions, NWA provided feedback, physicians, ACOS, all provided feedback. And what we ended up doing was we're really successful because we found genuinely people wanting to know this information, and they did not. So to date, this is old data, I don't have the most recent data. So we treated 535 individuals, so that included 24 pediatric settings, 11 OB settings, and 15 non-profit settings. We found our way to go to the grand rounds at local hospitals. We worked ourselves to create exact meetings. We hosted a couple lunch and learn. And even at some point, we partnered with a continuing education coordinator with our local hospitals, and she really was brought around every single station throughout all the staff that was, working and not immediately occupied. And had a, give them kind of quick flash training. And what this really did is just really kind of help build that relationship. And people began reaching out to us with questions about WIC, with questions about who is eligible and how can I have a specific child with maybe a specific medical issue. Can you help me, can you help me counsel the child? One thing I would say, another misconception about WIC, that a lot of pediatricians, a lot of these, they don't realize that they're people actually trained in nutrition. And they think you're just some government bureaucrat, like a cog in the wheel, or maybe you're going to, DSS. You're not dealing with a specifically trained person who has knowledge of nutrition and breastfeeding. So that was a really big value for us as well, is able to change that. And so we had very much increased communication between our partners and the WIC offices. And just a few quick statistics here, not too many, but just to give you an idea, we did pre- and post-training surveys, and before the training, we would say, before the training, 52% said they were either unfamiliar or very unfamiliar with WIC, and after the training, 94% said they were familiar or very familiar. And then following the training, 96% of the trainees agreed or strongly agreed that they would feel comfortable contacting WIC for support, and they have. And just the last one here is 98% felt the training was either very useful or useful. So we got really positive feedback through our data as well as through word of mouth. And we continue to keep these lines of communication open In particular, I can give you a specific example. We work with a pediatric dentist, and we see, a bit of child tooth decay, patient, excessively sugar, which is diet. And so we've actually created referral forms for one another that the client allows us to pass on the details, and at the dentist office they follow up with the client personally, and then they send all the clients home with information. We've also come up with a lot of tools to kind of embed WIC into the office in ways you might not expect. All the waiting rooms of all of the various different offices we visited have books, children's books. We have books that have WIC stickers in them. And these are books like, eating the alphabet or nutrition focused books. And stickers on the inside when you open them up, it tells you about WIC and gives you a number to call. We provided offices, simple giveaways that refer back to WIC. We have belly balls that we created for all of the offices. They're just kind of like almost like a very string with balls of 3 different sizes that are supposed to show kind of the growth of the baby's belly through the first week. We work with another physician to help them have even just a checkbox, yes or no, with is this child enrolled in WIC, so they can ask that child in the future, if they're still enrolled in WIC, if they're still and we send out emails. Our health department has a MailChimp. MailChimp platform, and bi-monthly emails go out just with regular WIC updates about things that are happening. For instance, the new WIC income eligibility guidelines just came out, so kind of with that sequencing emails about the income eligibility guidelines, continuing to let people know that more families are eligible for WIC. August is World Breastfeeding Month, so that's going to be the focus of that, kind of the following email. We talk about very specific kind of awareness campaigns a month to March is National Nutrition Month. We send them success stories of WIC clients that come in. They're just very short, very brief, to the point emails. A lot of them are really bullet point heavy. So really, that's our goal, is just to have that constant line of communication open and continue that dialogue between us. And we found that our clients that have their team work as nutritionists, I'm not a nutritionist, but with nutritionists, are able to provide better referrals as well, because they we've developed relationships with these community partners one-on-one. So when they're referring, a client to an out-service service at the end of the appointment, they have a much better positive benefit of this program. Now, I know a lot of people are going to want specific applications. Have you had definitive caseload increases? And that's, I think all of you may know, is a very tricky thing to track, Crossroads and elsewhere. So we can't really say definitively looking at the data that that's been the case, but we've had very positive feedback, and we have noticed that a lot of families are continuing to come back and are coming, with referrals from their community partners, from their physicians, and these physicians, just simply by the fact that a physician telling their clients, WIC is still really valuable to you, even after the first year, I suggest you go. Having them say that simple sentence, I think really does encourage our clients to return. They will tell us specifically, that their physician or this nonprofit told them to come back. So that's a brief overview of some of the how we use community partnerships to leverage retention past the first year. I'm happy to send any materials or tools or templates or samples of everything we've done to you, and talk to you on a one-on-one level. and see if you can, figure out how to do something similar. So that's all I have for now.
All right, thank you, Gwen Cora. And we will share some of that information in our follow-up email as well as contact information if you would like to use that input. So we're going to move over to Badia from East St. Louis. So just a minute, Badia, and I'm passing the baton over to you. And just a reminder, if you are a participant, please make sure that you are muting your phone. All right, Badia, it's all yours.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Badia Cooley. I've been with the WIC program for over 15 years, and I'm the program director at the East Side Health District. I will give you a little brief overview about East St. Louis. East St. Louis is a very non-typical city because it belongs to St. Clair County, but it has 99% of its population is pretty much up now. We have a population of 25,000, and our WIC caseload is about 3,000. And what we have noticed in the past year is when you look at the ratio of number of infants to the number of children we have, actually we have less than 50% of our infants are returning back to WIC. And they're only staying on WIC till they get their formula till 1 year old. And so we wanted to help with the retention of the infants coming back to WIC at 1 year. And there was another project. This project, WIC to 5 project, was a collaboration between the Illinois WIC program and the University of Illinois Chicago. And they actually worked with the participants as well as some of the health departments to come up with some key messages on how to address this issue. And so we were one of the agencies who actually got to use some of these WIC materials and to be on the so that itself was a very education to allow on addressing their challenges also by. So this one. The other thing we find out is that the average how long do you find to keep your child at normal weight? 45% of them said 1 year, and about 25% said 2 years, about 30% said 5 years. They were getting matched on records also showing that less than 10% of the infants are returning back. So we thought that we're going to address these areas, educate them that this program is there so the child comes 5 years old and is beneficial. So we have to increase the awareness among and also we did some outreach to the community from physicians, childcare providers. We did that. So after this, every visit instruction that I asked you about, so reminding them that change is productive. Available to the child transpire. And we asked them what time intended to participate in the meeting, like how long do you plan to keep our child away? And if it has anything less than 5, we want to be educated them why it was important, how we can continue the program to keep on 5, so 5 years old. And another thing that we want to discuss atmosphere is a clinic more friendly. We have some staff bios. We just get to know your staff and staff for loose. So express about themselves. Hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm Badia, I'm from India, I love gardening, and the best part of my day is working with breastfeeding moms, and those kind of little things that find out about yourself. And so when the clients come to your office and look at your bio, with a picture on it, and they feel personally connected to you. So that is one of the things we find in our clinical exams. And as far as the outreach goes, what we did was we had identified posters, and it's a white scale weight so far. And we we took those posters to the physician's offices, the daycares, and of course we have the posters in our clinic too. And we talked to the women and pediatricians about it, and they said, okay. And we had to bring them in nice and ready for them, enclosed with their car, so we can put it out. And also we came up with like 8x11 little WIC promotion flyer, very simple message to demystify, and all these all the examiners in the OB offices and the pediatrician's offices. One of the QHCs allowed us to have this all in. And so every room of the examiner has this 8x11 reading pointer on WIC pad, as well as a little prescription pad, a green prescription, if they're partnering with our WIC office numbers, and a little flyer on WIC. And also we have we have the QHC centers that are really qualified, and they are already access because they provide us really good resources. And this is one of the requirements to provide resources to WIC is all their chapter. So they may not know us, so you go and introduce yourself to these case managers and say, this is what we are, and this is what the potential agreement we have which we are reporting, which had all the pre-pregnancy information orders, with the investigating everything, the client signs off, and they actually ask me to us. And so every new pregnant mom comes to the clinic with a sign. Because they are 99% of us trying all medication, so they're all eligible. And so that was one of the big aspects too. And they also offered pregnancy classes, and we actually invited our peer counselors to come talk to all these moms in their pregnancy classes. And we provided the information of our peer counselors, like to their pregnancy classes and their session on that. And anybody who is not originally or to so that is another big connection we made with the local doctor's offices. And we also provided, when we were there to talk about WIC, the nurses had so many questions about our prescriptions, our formula prescriptions, our medical prescribed formulas. So we were able to do a session where we had all the nurses in there, but the doctors also came in, two of the doctors, and, I would like to know more about it. So they came in, and 2 times I did this in the last 3 years like a session on what prescriptions, medical prescribed formulas WIC provide, what the requirements, how to complete our prescription accurately, and who to contact if they need help or any questions. Those were some of the questions which they had, and we were very glad to provide that information. So overall with this project, what we found was that the WIC 2.5 posters, there was some staff cut to the WIC labs about this, about staying on WIC 2.5. Then when they see the WIC 2.5 poster in our clinic, they go to the doctor's office, they see WIC 2.5 materials. So we are actually trying to, overload them with this WIC 2.5 information. And with this project, we found that our staff, this increased staff and they felt more confident in actually supporting bringing to the clients, with especially the treatment. And the physician's offices have more, when they were doing all this information that they actually know what they call. Even on those little laminate sheets what they have in their exams when they're all visible. So they knew who to call right away. I cannot tell you for sure how much we have increased our participation, but the awareness definitely has increased about WIC. And we hope to continue to find out what the barriers are and and how we can continue to have more children come back to work. That is pretty much what I have.
All right, thank you so much, Bhagya. And you and Glencora have stayed so perfectly on time. I'm impressed. We will now hear from Frances McLaughlin, and I owe her a huge apology because when I introduced her at the beginning, I said she was from the wrong state. So Frances is actually from the New Hampshire State WIC program. So I am turning it over to you now, and we are excited to learn more about what you've been working on.
Is that visible now?
Yep, we've got it.
Okay, thank you very much for having me and inviting us to share our experience here in New Hampshire. I'm the Nutrition Services Manager for New Hampshire WIC program, and strategic plan that was involved in quality improvement initiatives, and as a result, I feel like it has impacted our child retention efforts, and I just wanted to share that as well. So, to give you a quick background in terms of our local agencies and how we're set up here in New Hampshire, we have 4 local agencies. There is the FEMRAP Action Program, which is based out of Concord and is on the screen. It's highlighted in blue. It covers the largest geographical area of New Hampshire. Goodwin includes 2 counties within New Hampshire, and then Southern New Hampshire Services, which is the sales range. The lower section is our most actively diverse and highest political state. Southwestern, and on the western side of our state is 2 communities, 2 counties, and there's a little bit more economically challenged. You'll see that there's caseloads are identified, and our caseload is approximately 15,000. So we're very small. We like to typically to be a local agency in California or Hawaii. So anyway, through our local agency community action program, and the Goodwin community is based in a health center. So here's our child retention formula. So we're confident about what she looks at and try to take it all in. But in all actuality, it really isn't that complex, and basically is formula that had tracking in the Northeast region, and I'm not sure if it was across the United States as well. Ultimately was that it looked at the counted average participation divided by the previous 4 years different average of the caseload. And so from there, we have our New Hampshire statewide retention rate, and since 2014, we have seen a steady increase in our retention. We look at by our local agencies. As we mentioned before, we have the 4 local agencies. First agency here is Open Study. Second agency is kind of a little bit about FLIC, and our third agency is really showing some vast improvement, as well as our 4th agency. Just noting that in 2017 is still in the midst of that fiscal year, so the figures are not complete. Was the 54%, which is the FMS goal, that we are hopeful of that. As mentioned before, we are in the midst of a strategic plan that project in our control, and so part of the results of the improvement in our child retention must be related to efforts to address communication, clinic environment, and staff satisfaction, clinic flow, nutrition education that we're providing and food delivery. And we actually have a quality improvement project. Part of the strategic plan involves using
kind of having Democratic come to our city and working with our staff on using the Getting to the Heart of the Matter tool, which you see on your right-hand side of the screen, and it's basically using tools to approach questioning of citizens in a very open and kind of surprising way. For instance, the magic wand would be, asking parents, it's like a video magic wand, what is something that you would think about your child eating? And so it's kind of an unexpected question, and there's no right or wrong answer, and it leads to greater communication and discussion with the participants. We also had a tour of our staff training has been with motivational interviewing, and I would say that that's kind of the core of our program right now. And also another part of the training that we had with staff with Sam McCarthy was on the principles of influential persuasion with Robert Cialdini. The other thing that we use, and I'm not sure if there was a difficult dilemma. We use this poster, and I apologize, I forget which state we adopted it from. I think it was Michigan, I want to say, but we had the 5 years in Instagram going until age 5. We provided these tribal agencies for outreach. We also had a rack card, and if you notice in the right-hand corner on the small rack card, there was the offering of a free cookbook for children who stayed on the program through their 4th and 5th year. So we had our friends, good old Elmo and company, and primarily we started with the State of Cooking and Meal for Baking book, and that has now transitioned to the Let's Cook. We were able to offer these to children who were staying on the program. We were able to work with Fort Mifflin and their special sales marketing department, and for nonprofit agencies we were able to provide discount. We also looked at our nutrition education. We started to provide the Chop Chop magazine, and also looked for more engaging materials, and started to the New Matters kind of nutrition sheets that use the at the core message of family meals, family style meals, and food. A few of our local agencies that went through a quality improvement initiative and looking at clinic flow. They had sanitization. We are very child-friendly officers. Some of our agencies got chalk awards. Another agency went for the medical bottle, which you see here. Another agency uses the graduate board, and they have take pictures of the child with their Sesame Street cookbooks that kind of show others and the best medicine and children, aside from the good stuff that we get with, they also get your little gifts for graduating with their present. And that is now done. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That was all of the information we found has been really great. We do have about 20 minutes for questions now. So if you have any questions, please type them into the chat box, and we will make sure that we get those answered. It looks like we already have a couple, so just a moment. So Cora mentioned that she would be willing to share some of the materials that they've created, so we will get those from her and send them out in the follow-up email after the webinar. There are a few questions about that here. someone asked about the FNS formula for child retention. I believe that was from your presentation, Francis. Do you know where we can find that or how it was created?
It was what FNS provided to us as a way of tracking child retention. And so, what we do here in New Hampshire is we have a monthly tally of all of our caseloads by different assessment types, so all of our children, and then we also have our index, and so we're able to go back the years and look at what the average is for the year, and then you do your average and you sum it up and you do your average.
Okay, so,
do you want me to go back to that? Do you want me to go back to that slide again? Sure. Just put it up there again?
Yeah, I'm passing the presenter privileges back to you, and that would be great. So it sounds like FNS gives that to states, so the state officers should have that?
Sure. Okay.
All right, in the meantime, are there additional questions?
So that's it for Bahama?
Yes.
Thank you.
There is a question, is the WISTA 5 poster that was shared in Francis's presentation the same poster that was used in East St. Louis?
No, but ours is different. Ours is way beyond WISTA 5.
Okay.
I will check with our state because they help, and then I can share it with you, Hannah.
Oh, that would be great.
Yes, I can share that with you after I check with our state. And I didn't know because we were to produce those posters for us, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share, but I will find out. If I do, if I'm allowed to, then I will go ahead and email them to you. It's just one of the reasons she told a child to stay home until they are 5, and it has like 2 messages.
Great. So we'll hold off on sending the follow-up email until maybe later tomorrow or even early next week so that we can make sure we have as many of these resources pulled together for you as possible when we send that follow-up email to you all. Any additional questions? We'll give it a couple minutes here, see if you have any other questions. Has anyone published or posted any of their materials so they can be used or cited? We have not published any of these materials from the National WIC Association. I'm not sure, Ventura, Francis, Bhavya, have you all published or posted any of the materials that you've mentioned today publicly?
Obviously, we have the doctor's offices and the child care centers and in the community. Yes, we have, because they were given to us to do that, and we did. And I've not shared it with anybody else, but I can check with our state and with the okay. They can, and then I can send you what the poster looks like.
Hi, this is Clark. I'm happy to share all of our materials. They do take up a bit of space, so the way that I've found it best in the past is to send everybody a link to the Dropbox account where they're all uploaded. And there you can find we kind of have a WIC prescription referral pad, we have WIC stickers, we have our WIC 101, we have our breastfeeding referral pad, and we have our WIC recipe cards, which are really beautifully designed. And they all have a very similar theme. Most of them, I would say, are pretty adaptable for your own needs. They do have our local logo on them.
but please get in touch with us. If you would like that page to get our graphic designer to just have to print the logo around, that's fine with us. Thanks, Catherine, and I believe the poster and the thought reasons to stay on this are more willing to share.
Perfect. Thank you all. Well, it doesn't look like any more questions are coming in, so I'll go ahead and wrap up. Thanks to you everyone for joining us. I have learned a lot this afternoon. I assume many others have as well. I mentioned at the beginning of the call that this is the second in a series of webinars to focus on recruitment and retention and outreach and other sorts of activities, other related activities. The next webinar in this series will be on August 17th at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, and it will be focused on free media and how to leverage that. Keep an eye out in Monday morning report for the registration link for that. I believe it will be advertised for the first time next week. So thank you all for joining us. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to me or to Natalie. Natalie is the email on your registration information for the webinar, so that's an easy way to apply to that. Otherwise, thank you all so much for joining us, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.